Good evening to all the ministers and ambassadors, all protocol observed, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Pobas. I feel very honored to be here tonight. This is such a historic day, and for me to be here, I really feel honored and privileged. I'm not alone, I'm with the greatest legend who has done a lot for the music industry of South Africa, Utatu Themba Elliot Mkwena. And as I am shivering and feeling smaller and smaller, he calms me down when he plays, and he encourages me a lot because he's been here for a long time before I was even here. And as we are going to sing and perform the songs that were composed, written, and produced by the greatest heroes and heroines here in Zanzibar, I hope you will enjoy these few pieces, as I try to fit in these big shoes. I hope I'll do justice.
Labuchoni
esilungwini inganazikwe ekhaya siyokwetheza inguni iyakuduza le ndoda isele yodwa endlini iyakuduza mama yo iyakuduza iyakuduza mama yo iyakuduza 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 mama yo iyakuduza 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 mama yo iyakuduza 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 mama yo iyakuduza iyakuduza Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Kubitenga bonayo ikuqisa inkomo kaningante ninani bamelwane
kukhoma khwebo mancinane ngasebuhlanti anidincedeni webazali.
Awulilizele mama nguzwe. I think we will now, I must just rectify something that was advised earlier that happened. That on arrival, people did not wait for the starters, but they just helped themselves on the starters. So, hence we couldn't have the starters. But can I then also acknowledge, I think, Honorable Minister, in our midst, I think when you had sent us, Minister Mtetwa, to go to Madagascar in February, and when we came back and we met with the leadership of the ANC around this project to find the stalwarts, one of the people who came and gave us guidance is here, is amongst us. And that is Uprapeli Masetla is here and was able to really assist us and guide us and get us the stalwarts that are here today. And we really want to thank you, Uprapeli, because without your leadership in this area, we might have not found our way the way we did. And we thank you also that you are here in our midst. Thank you so much. We will now then move to have the address by our Minister of Madagascar, Minister of Culture and Communications. And I will request that we really ask our Honorable Minister to please come and address us.
Excellency Minister of Arts and Culture, Excellency Mrs. Speaker of the National Assembly, Mrs. Ambassador, my sister, honorable guests, all protocol observed, ladies and gentlemen. I'm standing up here tonight with so much emotions. The first time the South African delegation led by the Director General of Ministry of Arts and Cultures came in Madagascar and met me in my office to deal with the repatriation of the equipments of Radio Freedom, I did not hesitate a second to say I'm ready to cooperate. I wanted to give the delegation the assurance that it has my total support. And I then talked to my president to ask him, and he immediately said he also agrees about the project, and he told me, go ahead, we must help South African people to get those equipments back to South Africa, as it is just nothing else than justice. So thanks to him, he allowed me to come to South Africa for this handover ceremony. But personally, I was really supportive of this project for two main reasons. First of all, because I know how important is the struggle for freedom. I used to be a journalist and politician for many years. I know what does the fight for freedom of expression mean. Secondly, I can say I owe too much to South Africa and to its people. I remember in 2012, when I had also to fight to win my right to have my opinion and to say it, the South African government understood my struggle and gave me protection by hosting me at the South African Embassy in Madagascar. I stayed there for 2 months and 6 days. And during that time, reading about Nelson Mandela, his own liberation struggle, and the South African people's sacrifices to have their freedom from apartheid was teaching me a lot about apology, forgiveness, and also reconciliation. South Africa has done so much for me. I learned a lot from its history. I'm very thankful, and I keep the promise that if one day there is anything I can do to show to its people how grateful I am, I will do it, definitely. So you may now understand why I'm getting so emotional tonight. Being here in South Africa is really a dream come true, thanks to Mrs. Ambassador. So thank you for giving me this great opportunity to finally, and for the first time, visit South Africa, which I consider as my second country. I will never forget it. Thank you so much. So, Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, let us take this opportunity to strengthen the relations between South Africa and Madagascar. We now have our elected president, Mrs. Andra Zwin, a young leader who has a firm and a strong will to develop our country. I would like to invite South Africa to be part of this great adventure and to accompany us all along our travel to reach our development goals. The South Africa investors are very welcome in Madagascar. Would you come to invest there? We will make sure you will stay for a very long time. And especially about arts and culture, I'm eager to sign the convention between South Africa and Madagascar to improve our partnership in these fields. We have too much to learn from South Africa. We expect both of us can benefit from our relations, and we will keep working together for the interest of South African and for Malagasy people. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
Another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for our Minister of Culture and Communication from Madagascar. Ladies and gentlemen, I think the best thing to happen now is for me, without much ado, to request and ask our Minister of Arts and Culture in South Africa, Minister Nathi Mthethwa, to come and address us this evening.
Thank you very much. Thanks, everybody. We may be seated. So, good evening on this very important and historic day. Thanks, Program Director, who's also the Director General of the Department of Arts and Culture, to the Speaker of the National Assembly, Mama Balega Mbete, my sister, the Minister of Communications and Culture in Madagascar, my sister Lala, our stalwarts for Radio Freedom. The stories still need to be told. And told properly. It is going to be told because South Africa has agreed, the government has taken a decision to really make history compulsory. I mean, real history of South Africa. To the Honorable Ambassador, Ambassador Lomo, Minister, you have somebody in your country. She's persistent. She never loses hope. And she's been on this project for a very long time, and her commitment there. Thank you very much. To the CEO of this Freedom Park and the chairperson, and also the chairpersons and CEOs of other entities reporting to Arts and Culture, to the members of the Diplomatic Corps, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, to Comrade Billy Masetla. Where is he? He has put all of this together, and thank you very much, Spali. So it gives me great pleasure to be with you on this auspicious day where we celebrate the repatriation of Radio Freedom equipment from Madagascar to South Africa. It's a day where we also have to reflect on the name which has been coming here throughout these proceedings, the greatness itself, O.R. Tambo. And this Radio Freedom is one of the aspects, as the speaker, Comrade Balega, has said, which in a chart, and there are many other things, including human beings, which in a chart. But we meet on the day when he departed this planet 26 years ago, on the 24th of April, 1993. To the stalwarts, you know, as you were narrating your story here, I became convinced that that which mobilized us, that tool which mobilized us, which is Radio Freedom, and you were behind the mic, is something which South Africans have to experience. Have to experience, especially after the ANC National Conference in Morogoro in 1969, which this year turns 50. Which conference, amongst other things, came up with the path to power, the path to 1994, and identified clearly the 4 pillars of struggle, which is mass mobilization, underground work, armed resistance, and the international isolation of apartheid, which is basically the mobilization of the world against apartheid. Now, Radio Freedom straddled all these pillars because it was through Radio Freedom that the underground movement in South Africa became strengthened. It was through Radio Freedom which called South Africans in their multitudes to join mass mobilization, mass struggles. And many people in this room are graduates from that university, the University of Mass Struggles of our people. It is through Radio Freedom, as you narrated the story, that the armed resistance intensified and South Africans became more aware of what it means to deal a blow to apartheid. Year 1979, the year of the spear. That year was important because it was a centenary of the Battle of Isandlwana, where the mighty British army was defeated for the first time. Not by a European country, not by anybody, but an African or by Africans, AmaZulu Isandlwana. So Radio Freedom has always been a mobilizer of society. As you said, we listen to Radio Freedom under the beds because you were afraid you were going to have a long sentence simply by listening to a radio. And I think we must take this opportunity to salute the journalistic fraternity, the role it can play in society in changing things for the better. As South Africa celebrates 25 years of democracy, we look back and reflect on the difficult and dark times that our country and her people experienced for a very long time under colonialism and apartheid. The painful truth is that millions of liberation struggle fighters and the people of the SADC region and the world over sacrificed their lives for the democracy that South Africa enjoys today. This is what we South Africans today take for granted. Many people lost lives and limbs for South Africa to reach the 27th of April 1994. South Africa enjoys her freedom today, and we must not take that for granted. The brutal atrocities of apartheid knew no bounds. This story has to be told and be documented for future generations. As CEO of this institution, Freedom Park, thank you for hosting this equipment. But I must also add to you that you are a transition. You are holding it in this transition period because we are busy with the process of building the Resistance and Liberation Movement Museum, which everything about the liberation struggle in South Africa, across the board, would find home. But nevertheless, this is our home. Thank you for warmly welcoming us here in this interim home of ours. As we mark the 25 years of democracy, it's therefore befitting to acknowledge the significant contribution of Radio Freedom in the journey for liberation struggle in South Africa. Radio Freedom started as a clandestine radio station in 1963 on the Liliesleaf farm in Rivonia, which was the secret headquarters and hideout for the High Command of Umkhonto weSizwe. Our veteran has alluded to that fact, the eye for an eye. On the establishment of the foreign missions of the ANC, various countries across the globe came into assistance of the liberation struggle in various forms, including the support to set up Radio Freedom. It was on air daily. But the signal, man, was the spoiler. When you were following and the signal will just come, things will happen, and you'll lose out. But on the daily, it was aired daily at spread out times and frequencies from 5 different countries which have been mentioned here: Angola, Ethiopia, Madagascar, Tanzania, and Zambia. Of all the 5 countries, what was outstanding and unique was that Radio Freedom in the Republic of Madagascar was the only one with the longest broadcasting period daily in order for South Africans to listen to the programs of Radio Freedom. And thank you, Madagascar. So, the event today is a historic moment for both South Africa and the people of Madagascar because it re-cements our bonds of friendship in pursuit of a better Africa in a better world. South Africa, therefore, is grateful and extends her gratitude to the Republic of Madagascar for the unwavering support during a period when a dark cloud was hanging over our country. In tribute to the people of Madagascar, South Africans from various walks of life have decided to nominate former President of Madagascar, His Excellency Mr. Admiral Ignaz Ratsiraka. You know, most of our surnames in Madagascar are very much close to South African Sotho surnames, and Ratsiraka, for the Order of the Companions of O.R. Tambo, for the role the people of his country, yes, for the role the people of his country played in our struggle for liberation under his stewardship. We've just been introduced to the grandson here. He symbolizes the spirit of determination of the people of this sister country to see Africa free. It has been said before, he took a risk. Not for himself, but for his people, for his nation. It is this existing solid historic bond between the two countries that would like to preserve and nurture going forward. The two countries will soon sign, Minister, a memorandum of understanding within which collaboration in implementation of projects and programs of mutual interest will be undertaken. This is where the people of both countries will ensure the consolidation and strengthening of the existing relationship through learning from one another and pursuing projects in the areas of arts, of culture, of heritage that will benefit both countries. Amongst the deliverables of this program will be the development of a joint documentary to document the role of Radio Freedom in our struggle, especially between the two countries. And this, of course, will extend to other host countries. This will ensure that the story of Radio Freedom becomes alive, and this will ensure that the current and future generations safeguard, treasure, and cherish this common history and heritage. The story of Radio Freedom represents a powerful message for South Africans as we celebrate 25 years of our democracy. It is a story that confirms that South Africa's freedom was never free. It is a story that should remain inscribed in the memories of the peoples of South Africa and Madagascar, the continent, and the rest of the world. As we're able to dig trenches together to fight against apartheid in the past, we need to expend the same energies in bringing about development and prosperity in our respective countries. On behalf of the government of the Republic of South Africa and its people, I would like to express our heartfelt gratitude to the government of the people, to the government of the Republic of Madagascar and her people for support we received from you during the darkest hour. Thank you for your support.
Thank you very much, Minister. No, thank you very much, Minister Mtetwa. We are reaching the stage of the real moment. I have been advised we have a very short footage that we'd like to just share with you. But I must just explain the process going forward, that the food, I request that we do not start, we just give food, we make sure we do the handover, and as we have the entertainment, we then continue with the food. Because once you start with the food, then people will never pay attention to anything else. So can we agree that we will just reorder in that way? May I then request that we just screen the footage if it is ready? It's only about 5 minutes. I'm appealing that we be patient, but it is about the capture of the essence of the right of freedom and what was happening at that time.
The Malagasy artist who had the equipment approached us and said, this is the equipment which you should have. For us, it should be exciting and it's exciting